Hello, ladies and gents, especially the members of the SMMA Mastermind group from Facebook. Now, if you are not a part of this group, make sure you go to smmamastermind.com or look us up on Facebook, especially if you are looking to start or scale a digital marketing, a social media marketing agency. Now, for those group members who have been eagerly waiting for this process in terms of how you can get better results with your cold calling. Now, I must give you this disclaimer. I have always said that cold calling is for losers, and you can find the reason why if you go to YouTube and find my video, just search for Abul Hussain cold calling. However, I am not saying that cold calling does not work. It's just not a system that I like to use or I kind of teach people to use. However, it is effective, and in my student days, when I used to actually work for a call center, these are some of the tips that I have picked up, which has helped me to shape and control conversations. So this PDF is called No Pressure Cold Calling because I know how stressful it can be for a lot of people. So I wanted to give you a very easy process that makes it simple for you to book agency demo calls painlessly. Now, the main problem that I have seen with people who want to do cold calling is that on the first call, they don't really have a structure to it and they try to close people off one call or they say too much. Here's the thing, when you're calling someone out of the blue, they don't have time for you. They're going to often fob you off. They're going to try and get you off the phone. So the purpose of your first call, the first time you call someone, is to actually book a call where you can qualify or disqualify them. Okay? So the purpose of your first call to them is to get them onto a qualification call. And it's at this qualification call where you can actually assess their current situation and decide whether you want to book a demo call to show them what you can do for them. Okay? Not everybody is entitled to a demo call. It's only prospects who are qualified. So this process here is to help you to book more of those qualification calls from the first cold call, which should not last more than a minute. So let's go through the process. The process is actually quite straightforward. After you've done your research and you have called them up for the very first time, you want to disarm the prospect, you want to give them a soft ask, and then you go into a bit of an elevator pitch where you kind of tie in a story, I suppose. You talk to their pain and then you close them on setting up or setting aside 20 minutes where they can speak to you in a bit more detail about their business. So let's go through this process very quickly. It's actually very, very easy. Now, first you need a plan, okay? So you need to do some pre-call preparation. You need to scan their website, social media profiles, blogs, and find any relevant information you can use on the call. So I'll show you very quickly how I would kind of approach this. So let me head over to Google. So as you can see, I have typed in interior designer London here, and there are some ads showing up. So let me just click on this ad from Isabel Scott. Now the reason why I'm clicking on an ad is because I know these people are already spending some money on advertising, so they might have a marketing budget. Now, obviously, I have not ascertained how much they're spending. They might be kind a low bowler, if you like. They might not even have a need for an agency, or maybe they won't be able to afford an agency. So, I don't want to kind of think too far ahead. I want to make sure that when I'm cold calling people, I am slightly targeted. I'm not just randomly calling people off the Google Maps listings or something like that, because we do have the Google Maps listing down here, as you can see. So I've clicked through to this website, and this is what I see. Now, if you scroll down, if I scroll down here, you will see that this is not a great landing page because okay, they've got a lot of information about who Isabel Fletcher is and who Scott Ingham are. So I suppose that's where the name Isabel Scott comes from. but there is no lead magnet, there is no clear call to action. Most of the people who will come here, they will bounce off very quickly without leaving their details behind, you know. So kind of they are losing money from clicks unless someone takes the initiative to click on contact us and oh, this is hopeless because when I clicked on contact us, it comes all the way down here. It doesn't even have a form that I could fill in, or it's not even offering me like an ebook with top design ideas or whatever it might be. So this is how I do my pre-call preparation so that I know I have something to talk about when I make the cold call. And I've got the names here for the decision makers. So you've got Isabel Fletcher and you've got Scott Ingham, and I have their details here. You know, people are always talking about how do you find their details of prospects. Well, I mean, often it's in your face. People try to scrape data all the time, but you use your common sense, and it's quite easy to often get a direct phone number or a mobile or a cell phone number, as you can see here. Anyhow, let's get back to the script. So after you have made the call, you've obviously got a plan. What you're going to talk about, what I'm going to talk about, is I've seen their Google ad, I've clicked on it, and I think there could be improvements that can be made on their landing page that will get them qualified leads more easily. Now, the first thing that you want to do is disarm them because what someone who has no experience they'll do is they'll call this person up and they'll go, "Hi Isabel, my name is Abul and I'm calling from XYZ agency. We are a full service digital marketing agency that helps interior designers with Google AdWords and Facebook and whatnot." At which point, they would tell me to get lost or stop, or they're busy or they're driving or whatever it might be just to get me out of their hair. What you need to do is kind of disarm them so it doesn't sound like your typical sales call that they have heard 100 times before. So, another way I could do that is say, "Hi, Isabel. Have I caught you at a really bad time? Or, how much trouble am I in for calling you this early or late?" Because with cold calling, they often say the early bird catches the worm. So if you're calling someone at 8 a.m. in the morning, they might just be getting out of their house, leaving for the office. Or if you're calling them at 6 p.m. in the evening, again, they might be shutting up shop. What you need to do is kind of interrupt their normal process that they would expect when someone is cold calling them. Now, the pattern interrupt concept is something from NLP. If you Google pattern interrupt, you can find so many ways that you can actually interrupt someone's thought pattern where it doesn't sound like you are making another cold call to waste their time. So the whole objective here is initially to disarm them. So after saying, "Hi, Isabel," um, I'd throw something in there to make sure that I am not disturbing them or that actually, they respond back where it's not, "I've got no time." Now, after you've done the pattern interrupt, so have I caught you at a bad time? Are you driving? If I hear some, background noise in the background, I'll be like, "Oh, is this a good time to speak?" Very quickly, something like that. Anything that you can sense in the background, to kind of get them to say, "No, it's fine. You can, I've got a minute, or I can speak to you for a little bit," is a great cue for you to move on to the soft ask. And why is it the soft ask? Well, everyone goes for the hard close. They try to kind of book a demo from there. They'll start talking about the services they provide and who they are. Your prospects don't care about that. So the soft ask is, after I've made some kind of a pattern interrupt, I've disarmed them. They say it's okay. They give me an indication that it's okay to proceed. It will be, I will continue with something like, would you be okay if I took 30 seconds to tell you why I'm calling and ask you a quick question? Okay, so you are taking their permission now to keep on speaking to them. At this point, if she's like, "Well, can you call me back in an hour and 10 minutes or something like that?" That would be fine. But what we are doing here is kind of permission based marketing. Again, another concept thrown in there that you could look up at a later time. So once she says yes to that, so she said in sales there's something called the yes train, where you try to get people to say yes to a couple of closed questions so that they let their guards down, and this opens the door for you to pitch whatever you're looking to pitch. Now, once she says, "Okay, I'm happy for you to speak to me for 30 seconds, or I've got a minute, or whatever it might be," you move on to your 30-second story, which could be an elevator pitch, right? So I've got a little example here, and that 30-second story could go something like, when I talk to business owners, I hear three common gripes, or here I would kind of, tweak the script. So it'll be, when I speak to interior designers, I hear three common gripes. They're on Facebook and cannot get any new business. Now, I know she's obviously, I haven't checked out their Facebook page, but I know they're doing Google ads. So I'll say something like, when I talk to interior design firm owners, I hear three common gripes that they have with Google AdWords. And then I'll go into, they can't get enough leads, or the cost per click is so high, the quality of the leads are poor, whatever it might be. Anything that you have come up with from your research of this niche, right? Sometimes you can be quite generic and get away with it. Stuff like lead quality, everyone is complaining about. Number of leads, people are complaining about. Conversion rate, again, a common complaint across all industries. And then, you know, um, after you have said your 30-second story, hopefully the caller would be interacting with you in terms of, oh yes, yeah, exactly, we have the same problem right now, and our AdWords campaign is not working, whatever. And this is your chance to explore the pain. Again, I'm not talking about going into full-on details, but you know um, finding out a little bit more about their business so you can ask questions. Sales, is really about asking the right questions, getting the answers, refining your questions, and controlling the conversation. So, how long has it been like that? How long has your Google Ads campaign not been working? How much of a personal priority is it to get leads through your website, and whatnot? And then you move on to the close. So, why don't we do this? I'd like to schedule 20 minutes with you to go through your landing page, your website, to talk to you about how you can actually improve it so that you can get leads on autopilot 24 hours a day, or you can have another opener such as or a closer rather, such as, with the potential of addressing the problem, be worth investing 20 minutes. And again, you're not asking for a lot here. All you want to do is get to a qualification call with them. Now, you know, I've laid out this process for you. There are going to be, kind of anomalies, I suppose. No sales call is going to exactly follow this process. They might cut you off when you're trying to disarm them. They might cut you off after the soft ask. They might cut you off in your story if they think, okay, this person's trying to sell me something. You know, cold calling is a numbers game, even when you've done your homework. But, you should know that you only need one or two clients from your cold calling efforts to make a significant amount of money per month. You only need four clients to hit a £10,000 or a $10,000 month. It's so if that's all it takes, how many calls are you willing to make? Anyhow, just to quickly wrap up this video, I did not want to give you this PDF without an explanation in terms of how it works, because I know some people would look at this and they'd think, well, this is too easy. But honestly, cold calling is as simple as you make it. It is hard in terms of putting in the effort. A lot of people often, run out of steam after a couple of calls, or after, you know, some rejections. But what you do need to remember is cold calling is a numbers game. You might, for every 10 calls that you make, you might get one person say yes to proceed to the next step, your qualification call, which is why you can't spend too much time doing too much research or scraping leads or whatever, just go on Google, find people who are advertising, or go on Facebook, find people who are advertising, find who you need to speak to, get them on the phone, have a plan of action. As Stephen Covey, the author of Seven Effective Habits of Highly Successful People, says, you need to begin with the end in mind. The end here for me is to get this person to jump on a call, a qualification call, where obviously we're going to talk about how they can fix their Google Ads campaign or the performance of their website. And I can only mention this because I've done the homework. And then I get them on the phone, I disarm them, I tell a joke. Humor is useful, you know, because again, not very. If you get a lot of sales calls on a daily basis, and I'm sure a lot of you do, you will notice they have the same robotic script, they have the same robotic pattern, and that is the importance of a pattern interrupt, which is why you want them to let their guard down. That's all you need. And then it's a soft ask. Would you be okay if I took 30 seconds to tell you why I'm calling and ask you a quick question? And that's where you would actually introduce yourself as well. So you can say, hi, my name's Abul. I actually work with interior designers on their online marketing. Don't go into too many details here at this stage. Then you kind of, go into your story, your little elevator pitch, which demonstrates a little bit of expertise, uh, you know, sh- but by you talking about problems that they're probably facing, and then you explore their pain. And again, this is based on your story, so you just tie it back to what you're talking about. If you're talking about a conversion rate issue is one of the most common problems that you see, you ask the prospect, uh, is this an issue that you're seeing on your side? you know Tell me more about. And once they answer, if it's a problem, not, you ask them to tell you more, explore the pain a little bit, get them feeling uneasy, and then just quickly move them to the next step, which is, okay, you've got this problem, I think I can help you. Do you have 20 minutes where we can actually talk about how you can sort your landing page out, sort your Google Ads campaign out? And that's it. Book that qualification call. I hope this video has been useful for you. I'm recording this at midnight, so my brain is all over the place. If I have missed anything, do find me on Facebook on the SMMA Mastermind Facebook group, and we can post your questions there. We can discuss, uh, any questions or queries that you have about how to use this script. And I'd love to find out how successful you are with this script. Now, obviously, if you don't want to do cold calling, there are so many ways to get clients. I prefer attraction marketing. That is what I teach. And if you want to find out more about attraction marketing and learning all about that, again, feel free to reach out to me on Facebook. I will see you in the group.